Greetings and welcomes to episode 2 of XEP's Creator Talk, exclusive to tier 2 and 3 patrons of the Xbox Expansion Pass. Hello, guys. Today I am joined by Mr. Fame2K, head of Level 1 Gaming, one of the coolest dudes around. I love Level 1 Gaming. Our topic today is Activision-Blizzard properties you'd like to see make a return. But first, Fame, it's so good to have you here. I cannot thank you enough for joining me. Tell a little bit about what it is you do over at Level 1, because you're the head there. And,
Yeah.
let them know where to find you.
No, man. First off, thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure when I get to rock out with you. My eyes light up when I see you inside the podcast comment section. You're a cool guy. You're one of the best people in this industry, and I'm just happy to be here. But yes, I am the head of Level 1 Gaming, lv1gaming.com. We are owned by Circuit Wings LLC. We do have an LLC now. We are legitimized, which I'm so freaking happy about. But yes, man, we do all type of things from game reviews to news,
Mhm.
podcast. We have 3 different podcasts going every week, along with shorts and videos. Our main show is the Double XP podcast. That's our flagship show that we do every single Wednesday, and we like to bring guests on from the industry like yourself, and to have a good time, man. We're really about laughter and good vibes, man. I think so much of what happens in the game industry is so serious now, and everyone's trying to compete and do this and other. We just want to have people come on and laugh every week. We do have our serious stuff with our news and stuff like that, but for the most part, we want to give a good opinion, a funny opinion, and we just want to have some good vibes, man.
It is good vibes. You and Baron and the crew over there. I love just listening to Double XP or 2XP. That's one of my jams. I like to put that on. I'll play some Sea of Thieves, play some Halo, and just
Yes,
listen to you
sir.
guys riff. That's my jam. I put you all on my tablet, play some games, and it's like I'm in the room with you guys, which is
I
awesome.
appreciate that, man. It's all about having fun. We gotta bring the fun back in this, right? We play video games for fun. We should
Yes.
talk about video games with fun in it, right?
Exactly. And what I love most about the way you guys operate is you're always down to teach people something. You're always about rising tides, lifting people up,
Yep.
helping others enjoy gaming in the best way. And that's my favorite part about games is meeting people and being lifted by others and vice versa. That's the best.
Yeah, man, we got you. I always tell people, man, if I got it, you got it. If something you need, you let me know in this game industry, because man, we gotta be here for each other, and that doesn't
Mm-hmm.
really happen a lot. So we try to be pillars of that if we can, and
Mm-hmm.
to be able to rock out with people like you makes it so much worth it every single week, bro. So I really appreciate you having me on again, man, for real.
Heck yeah. And because it's patrons, I know you guys are big supporters of XEP. Make yourself supporters of Level 1, because they do good stuff, man. So for sure. Well, David, Fame, our
Yes.
topic today is
Yes.
Activision Blizzard properties that you want to see brought back. Now, I don't know if you've heard, Activision Blizzard's in the news from time to
Uh,
time.
Maybe I think I
Just
might have heard of that company. It's a small
a
company
small,
being bought by
a
another
little.
small company.
Yeah, exactly. But I kid you not, man. Every time people want to talk about the ABK deal or whatnot, all I'm thinking of is one way or another, I want to see the return of some properties. I want to see some
Mhm.
properties changed. And I sent you a list of 45
Yes.
Activision Blizzard properties, from the well-known Call of Duties to Zork to and I have no idea what this is. Laura Bow Mysteries. I don't even know what that is.
What is that?
I don't know. You got me, man. You got me. But some Google searching will tell you all about what Activision Blizzard King brings to the table. And so for me, I'm going to start off because I wanted you to kind of get in my mindset here and join me on this journey.
Mhm.
Um, I've been so pleased with how Activision Blizzard has shown some love to Crash Bandicoot and to Spyro. We got the Insane trilogy. We got the Spyro
Mhm.
Reignited trilogy. I love that stuff. I want them to bring back Skylanders in the best way and bring it back Skylanders without doing toys to life. That's something I want. I want digital versions so I don't have to fill my shelves, though that could be an option, sure. But I loved that family approach, that simple platforming, the bright colors. We talk about feeling good in gaming. Games like Crash and Spyro and Skylanders feel good. I want to see Skylanders make that return. Is that something you'd be down with?
Me personally, I was never really into Skylanders. However, I want to see it return because so many people like yourself, we have a supporter at level 1. His name is Mini Yeti.
Mm-hmm.
Big. Every time we talk about Activision-Blizzard, about bringing back properties, always brings up Skylanders. So I was never really one to go out and play it myself.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those, I can appreciate people's love for other games, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Skylanders is one of those games where I can appreciate the fact that you love it so much that
Yeah.
I want to see it return to make you happy, right?
Oh,
And so
okay.
that's how I'm lukewarm on it. There's no excitement for it for myself, but for other
Mm-hmm.
people, oh yeah, I would love to come back because people like you and people like Mini Yeti,
Mm-hmm.
again, who are really big into Skylanders, want this here return. So I want it for you guys, man. Honestly.
So it's funny because I didn't play a lot of Skylanders, but I liked Disney Infinity, right? Because
Oh
you had the
yeah, yeah,
Star
yeah.
Wars, and then I had Marvel, and I liked that. I liked jumping in with my characters there, and for me, it was the gameplay style, that approachable kind of cartoony vibe look, but then like the gameplay was so simple. I liked that about it. So it wasn't necessarily the toys to life stuff because it wasn't Lego Dimensions, it wasn't Skylanders at the time. It was Disney Infinity for me. But to me, that property is just so inviting that I think it'd be really nice to see it come back. You
Yeah.
know? So
No,
that was
I'm with you on that.
okay, cool. So that was my first, like, hey, please bring this one back. When you look at the list, what's sparking your mindset here? Oh,
The
let's see.
the first game that popped in my mind without a doubt was Hexen. Hexen
Hexen.
Hexen, that first person wizardry. Me and my cousins, when I tell you that's what we play from sun up to sundown,
Mm-hmm.
relentlessly for weeks on. It was such a unique game to us. You know, there's a lot of
Mm-hmm.
different games like that back in the day, but for us in our little bitty pocket, you know, because back when we were younger, there wasn't this gaming space.
Mm-hmm.
We could talk about, different games. It was, what did I discover? Right.
Mm-hmm.
And we only discovered a handful of games. So Hexen was one of those games that we discovered. It's like, holy crap, there's nothing else like it that we played, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we put in hours upon hours, day and night, every weekend. We're replaying Hexen over and over and over again, right? And maybe
Mm-hmm.
it's a nostalgia thing. And if I go back to play it now, it wouldn't be as good, and it being remade wouldn't be as unique as it was back when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
However, if you the one, and there's a couple on here that I'm like, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but if I got to sit down in front of Activision-Blizzard and say which game I want to get remade, immediately I'm going with Hexen first.
So Hexen's funny because it's on our list, and I think it's on our list because it was Raven Software that made it. Am I thinking of the right game? This was that first-person fantasy game, kind of
Oh
looked
my
like
god!
Doom. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. So
Raven,
it's
yes.
all right. So I'm googling that one, and this is weird because Raven made it, but it was published at the time by id Software, and because
Ooh.
so that's interesting because this is crazy. There is looks like maybe not a remaster, Beyond Heretic. Maybe it was the sequel to the original Hexen. That is now on the Xbox store. That came out in 2022, which didn't. I mean, you're teaching me something as I Google this, but I'm thinking the original Hexen. I don't know, man. This is crazy. This is a rabbit hole here. It's got to be because Raven Software worked on it. I wonder who owns Hexen now. I wonder.
Oh
Because
yeah.
it's on my list. Like when I went and looked it up,
Raven.
that's crazy. Because Raven made it, and Raven
In
was big.
1997, Raven made an exclusive publishing deal with Activision that was subsequently acquired by them.
Interesting. I
But
like that.
give me Hexen. It's and just looking at screenshots right now, it's just bringing back so much nostalgia for me.
Yeah.
I freaking love this game so much, man. It was so freaking good. The abilities
Mm-hmm.
that you unlock throughout the game were just fan freaking tastic. And just to have that, 4-player call, because this is N64, right? So we all plugged in our controllers, having that 4-player
Oh,
co-op was amazing. And I freaking love this game.
okay.
Love
I
it.
didn't realize it was on 64. Because
Yeah.
when I look at it, I try to trace all right, what do I know like recently? This makes me think like Avowed even, because it's that first person
Yes.
fantasy. Is that the
Mhm.
vibe you're getting, or am I off? Because the
Yes.
Hexen's new to me.
Oh yeah, yeah. You're definitely in that in the right zone with that. But I'm telling you, dude, if you ever get a chance, I don't know how. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know, we got
Mm-hmm.
a 64 laying around or by other means.
Mm-hmm.
This
Mm-hmm.
is definitely a game I think everyone should try out at least one time. Again, like I said before, it might be terrible now,
Mm-hmm.
but back then it was perfect
Chef's kiss, huh?
down to the last minute detail. It was perfect.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So all right. Then my next pick then, because I like where your head is at with Hexen. Like that's getting me excited here. But my next one is Singularity. Now, Singularity was also made by Raven Software. Uh,
Oh,
Now this was the 2010 game. It came out on I think it was PS3 and 360 both. But it was 2010. We never got a sequel or anything. This was Activision. This was back when we were getting uh like regular one-off games. Remember the 360 PS3 era? You would get like a time shift. You would get a
yes.
singularity or like these like
Mhm.
one-off games that were, you know, action based, but you didn't really get a sequel
Binary
to them.
domain.
Binary Domain. I love that game. That game is so underrated.
Yes, it
So
is.
come on, Sega. I need that game back. Oh, but Singularity. That's one I want to see come back. Maybe get the remaster treatment. But I liked the idea of kind of having that you had this like ability, like a wormhole ability that I was down for. I want to see that kind of make a return. That'd be cool to see that. They called it like the time device, time manipulation device, or something like that, and it changed gameplay pretty darn well.
I'm looking at now. I never played this game, but this looks really freaking cool.
You never played this one?
I never played it. This looks freaking cool, man.
Yeah, it
Where
was
was
cool.
I?
This is one of those games that you walk down the aisle of Blockbuster and you rent from a weekend. That's what you do. You know what I mean? The gunplay was cool at the
Yeah.
time, cool level design, but like it made you think of BioShock sometimes, you know, because you could like slow things down. You had different abilities,
Hmm.
and you could like pulse them out. But then the gunplay just felt good. Same with it. Reminded me like this. Remember, you had Singularity and Syndicate. Remember Syndicate?
Yes. Yes.
It-
Yes. 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 Yes.
It's kind of like those games where it's like you're playing a really cool first person shooter, but it doesn't have the Medal of Honor or Call of Duty attached to it.
Gotcha. This looks really cool, man. I don't know how I missed this. This looks dope.
When I
How
watch
cool is that?
the right, like this is a cool one. When I watch like the wormhole tech and the portals and stuff, it makes me think of like looking back at it now, it's like, oh, this kind of paved a way for Titanfall 2's like special kind of like
Mm.
time level. I feel
Hmm.
like if you kind of bring this brand or this game back, knowing now what we know about like watching Portal come out, watching Titanfall 2's time manipulation level, I feel like you could do some cool stuff. Plus, imagine this in Unreal 5. That'd
Oh
be
my
special,
god.
right? Right?
That would be sweet.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So
That
that
would
was
be
kind of the
sweet.
next one on my list. I'm a sucker for a good first person shooter though.
You know, I used to be. I'm not a big FPS person anymore. I think it right now. I think because I've hit fatigue with it. Just like open world
Mm-hmm.
games. If you tell me about open world, I'm like, yeah, whatever. I've
Mm-hmm.
hit fatigue on that. Like I'm really into third person. Like I want to see this cool guy that you guys crafted. That for certain games.
See, I want to see my third person character in open world and in single player, but in
Mhm.
in multiplayer.
Oh,
Hold
first
on.
person.
Multiplayer is first person, and when I say like if it's a story game, I want to see my character. I struggle with Cyberpunk for that reason. Like I want to be able
Yeah,
to see my
I want to
character.
all those customations just for me to only see my character in like a mirror. That was ridiculous.
Exactly, exactly. But like if it's a linear game or like a good FPS, sometimes like I'm good, right? I can cruise through that and be happy as
Yeah.
well. But if I'm like taking like a 15, 20 hour game, usually I want that to be in third person.
No,
But there's
I'm right
always
there with you.
exceptions. Always exceptions. All right, man. What's your next one on the list? What do you want to see make a return?
Even though it's because people tend to hate peripherals now unless they're like a VR headset.
I know where you're going with this.
Give me DJ Hero, Guitar Hero 2.
Okay.
Give me DJ Hero. It was so freaking cool to be able to play DJ and actually have the turntable. I thought that was now it looks gimmicky or whatever, but back then, first you had Guitar Hero and we were all just click 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 click.
Mm-hmm.
It was that's all you heard through the house, click 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 click. Especially when
Mm-hmm.
you playing at nighttime, you don't wake people up. It's just you just follow on the keystrokes. But
Mm-hmm.
DJ Hero being able to have that scratch, I thought that was super cool. And we would never see it because I don't think peripherals would survive being a standalone game in this day
Yeah.
and age, right? It would need to be something to where you're doing it inside of VR, right?
Mm-hmm.
You
Oh,
wouldn't
see.
be able to.
Ooh. See, I was out because I got culture shock from working at GameStop. I done traded in too many DJ heroes. But doing that in VR. Ooh.
You see what I'm saying? I think that's the only way this type of game will be able to come back because again, no one's going to shell out the extra money for this peripheral that can
Mm-hmm.
only be used for this game. And I think the only way you can get away with that is going the Guitar Hero route, just because I
Mm-hmm.
think that's just so iconic. It's
Mm-hmm.
such an iconic peripheral. I think people will be more willing to, but DJ Hero is more on the niche side
Mm-hmm.
of that. I would love for it to come back, but it would have to come back again in a capacity of, hey, DJ Hero on PSVR
Oculus.
2, Oculus
Yeah.
Quest. It has to be something like that. Otherwise, we could never see a return, which sucks because DJ Hero was dope.
See, that's
Sad time.
cool. That's cool. Well, as soon as you say VR, I'm like, yeah, I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm in. I'm in on that one. Okay. Okay. So that's a good choice. And you got me thinking about VR now, which
Mm.
is a little bit cool, but I'm starting to think about Warcraft. And when I say
Oh,
Warcraft, I mean Warcraft, like not World of Warcraft, but Warcraft, the strategy game. And I
yes.
feel like there's a lot of ways you could bring that back. You could do a Warcraft 4, right? You could do a proper, like, we've seen Age of Empires Definitive Edition come out. I got a lot of love for Halo Wars. So I've seen, these strategy games work real well on console. Uh,
Mhm.
I feel like doing those on consoles is great. That's how you sell. I would love to play Warcraft. I love the aesthetic of Warcraft, like the
Mhm.
orcs and the Alliance. But the idea of seeing Warcraft or a strategy game like that in VR where you're moving units like Tony Stark in it, moving units,
Yeah.
that'd be a cool way to
Yeah.
kind of bring that genre back as well. Like, to me, that's the next step for strategy games is Tony Stark in it and moving your units across. Because I don't think we're at augmented reality phase. But if you saw, like, if Activision wanted to, put that Warcraft IP out there for a dev to mess around with, not in
Mhm.
World of Warcraft, I'm there for that.
It's almost like what we thought we had with the Connect. We all thought we were Tony Stark when we were like putting our hands out trying to
Yeah.
move. Fun time. I miss the Connect. I think Connect got a bad rap.
Connect
The Connect got
2.
a bad rap.
Connect 2 got a bad rap. It was Microsoft's fault.
It
But
was
it did get a
100%.
bad rap. Did you play it was Ghost Recon? It wasn't Advanced
Uh,
Warfighter. Future Soldier. See, now he's going to get it.
I turned around because I was
I think he's got
literally.
it. See, I'm,
Oh my
I'm gonna
god!
talk. I'm gonna talk about Gunsmith if he comes back. Oh, let's see. He's
Where are
looking.
you?
Oh, he's looking.
Where are you?
See, fam, I'm
I
gonna
know
call you out.
exactly what you're talking about, dude. I just don't know. I'm going through my 360. I'm old hair, right? So I still got physical copies.
I like it. I dig it.
That's what you're talking about. If I don't know, I don't know if I have it in this section of games.
See, I'm gonna get
I
on
might
you
have
right now for it not
it
being
somewhere else.
alphabetized. Why is it not
They're,
alphabetized?
they're not alphabetized, but they're in order. Like I got Bulletstorm next to the Gears games.
Oh, I see what you're doing. Okay. Okay. I see. I recognize
Oh,
that.
okay. Was it? You wouldn't
Future
happen to be
Soldier?
talking about?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes,
yes. I knew it was in
sir.
here somewhere. Yes,
Yeah. Yeah. So you went in there and you like manipulated and built your gun and that kind of thing?
yes. This underrated. This was dope. This was dope.
Uh-huh.
Loved it.
Yeah. That was one of my
I knew
favorite
I had it
games,
in there
man.
somewhere. Sorry for walking away from I'm like this weird section of the show. Fame walks away as he gets nostalgic. And I was like, I have that game physical somewhere.
That's cool, man. I brought my dad in the room. My dad, who does not like games, he didn't understand what I was so excited about. But then when I started waving around and that gun started manipulating, that was cool.
It was like,
That was
okay, yeah, man.
mhm.
And that again, I wish the Connect 2 would have been displayed in a different format. But that's a conversation for another day. But
Mhm.
it was such a cool peripheral, man.
It had so
RIP.
many options, and much like the
Yes.
Dreamcast, there was a lot about that Xbox One that the world wasn't ready for. You
Yeah.
know,
No,
it's just
that's
too
facts.
too soon, too
Too
soon,
soon.
and too much. It costing too much. All right, cool. So I sent mine with Warcraft out there. Any others striking your fancy from our list?
There's a game on here on this list that
Mm-hmm.
it's not necessarily gone, but
Mm-hmm.
it had a sequel that wasn't really a sequel. Um, I know this kind of goes a bit of a shift to what we're talking about, but I would love to see them do something different with Overwatch.
With
Yes, we had
Overwatch.
Overwatch 2, which wasn't really 2, so the
Mm-hmm.
game came back, but it didn't come back. So it wasn't
Mm-hmm.
really a new game, still playing the first game. I would love for them to do something different with Overwatch. I would love for them to give us a game based off of a couple of the heroes. I think that'd be like a full-fledged
Mm-hmm. Like a
FPS.
single player,
Yes. I
and you'd
think they
want it
have
to be
some.
first person.
Yes. It has to be. Has to be. I think that would be cool. Or if you can somehow, maybe get me a Hexen-esque game with those characters, I think that'd be super cool. That'd
So
be super cool. But
no, I'm listening.
oh,
I'm
go ahead.
listening.
No. So I said it's not really gone to come back because it's still here,
Mm-hmm.
but it needs to come back in a way of making it relevant again. Because unfortunately, Overwatch is no longer relevant in the eyes of most people and most gamers. Now, even when Overwatch 2 came, I played it and I forgot it existed again. Right. So
Mm-hmm.
bring back the greatness that was the original Overwatch game in some way, shape, or fashion. Bring the IP back to life.
See, I wonder if you couldn't do that if you had. I like your idea of a single player narrative, with one or two of the characters, maybe even like you have a roster, but not the full roster because you want to make
Yeah.
sure your gameplay suits if you're gonna have a campaign. But like, what about like a third person adventure with a few of them? Is that something you'd
I'd
be
be with
interested
that
in?
too. Certain characters like I want to see in action. I think that'd be super dope. I'm definitely for that.
Yeah.
100%.
Okay. I like the idea.
100%.
I like the idea, and you talking about the idea of like changing a few of these. I feel like you could do something special with StarCraft, right? Like
Yeah.
StarCraft has a lot of options because it is that strategy game. We are talking about bringing things to VR and stuff, but that story and that sci-fi world, I feel like you could do some things with StarCraft and shoot. I would be so excited if we got like a StarCraft game and it was showing up on Game Pass or whatever, PlayStation Plus.
Be
Don't
big.
care as long as a lot of people are getting in there and
Yeah.
discovering it, you know?
No,
So,
I'm all for that. 100%.
okay, cool.
Man, there's some gems on here.
You getting excited?
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
it's it's, it's some gems on here, dude. It's gonna be interesting to see, regardless of if how this thing plays out, what's gonna
Hmm.
happen with some of these IPs. Like I mean, I wouldn't mind a new, Spiral, Crash, of course.
Hmm.
What we're gonna do with the Tony Hawk series, but it's a lot of dope stuff here. But give me DJ Hero in VR, and that
Hmm.
you will sell me on buying a VR headset.
There was one in here that kind of surprised me we haven't heard from, and that's Tenchu. Have you heard anything
Mm,
from Tenchu lately?
not at all.
Yeah, me neither. And
Not at all.
I feel like maybe Sekiro kind of took some of that. I feel like Ghost of Tsushima might have taken some of that interest, but when I see those
Yeah,
games do well, I feel like we see avenues where you could go with it, because
the
Tenchu's not
last
the.
the last Tenchu game was 2008, 7, 8.
I'm looking up right now. And I'm
But it
not.
feels
Yeah,
like
it's been a while.
the gap for that game has been filled. It's
Mm-hmm.
almost like when we thought, what was the game that was on Sega? Um, Gosh darn it! But the
Like
Yakuza
Shinobi.
games pretty much replaced it.
Oh, you okay?
Uh, I can't think of the name of it. I'm drawing a blank here on the middle of the podcast, and I hope your patrons are listening. It was Shenmue.
Shenmue. Ooh,
Shenmue.
Shenmue 3 struggled. Oof.
I look at it like that. Like what it was replaced with Yakuza. Like it filled the gap of Shenmue. So we should have stopped trying to make sequels to that game because it was done. It wasn't the same. But
That's
I feel like
point.
the Tenchu gap has been filled.
Yep. No, that's good. That's good. I think with Sekiro, you're right. Like Sekiro and Ghost, I feel like the interest is kind of just fallen away. Did you, before we wind down here, two games that I thought we would bring up sooner but didn't: Prototype and Geometry Wars. Two very different games. Both had big followings. Prototype to me was one of those cool open world destruction ones
on here. Oh my god,
we haven't seen Prototype in a long time, and I don't expect that we will. I don't
think a lot of people really enjoyed Prototype 2. And I think that pretty much
sealed the deal.
Was a nail in the coffin for the game. And sometimes sequels can do that, you know. But I remember when the original Prototype, it was like everyone freaking loved it. When Prototype 2 came, it was 3-4 years later, and the reception of it just was not that great for a lot of people. Some people love the game. I just don't see that being a franchise. But the original Prototype game was dope.
I loved it. I loved the gameplay, I should say. I liked it better when I was playing as a superhero I knew. Like if I was doing that kind of gameplay with Spider-Man or the Hulk or something like that, then I was a little more into it. But the game itself was fun, I thought. But again, a lot of these Activision games, they were walk down the aisle at Blockbuster games for me, not buy every day. Like my buy every days was the Call of Duty and such, you know?
Yeah. No. I definitely get that. Just, you know, man, there's so many good games that I think most people, again, because of the time we're in, never got to experience. Like it's like Singularity. Like I never got to experience because, you know.
Yeah. Did you ever
wasn't that?
Did you ever play Geometry Wars? I'm curious.
I didn't play Geometry Wars. I was never. I saw people playing it. People loved it. Was never interested in it.
It was a great game, and it was on everything from your 360 to your Vita, iOS, all that stuff. But I don't think we've seen Geometry Wars since like 2015-16, and I'd be willing to bet there'd be a market for a solid mobile game.
That's what I was thinking. If we were to see it, it would be iOS, Android, possibly Microsoft's mobile app store whenever they get that up. That's rumored to be coming, right? Yeah, that's where I can see it going. I don't necessarily see and then Steam. I can see it being a Steam, iOS, Android game. I just don't see the console market. But maybe it could be wrong. I reserve the right to be wrong for the Geometry War lovers who want to tell me what I'm talking about. I just don't see a big market for it right now.
No wrongness. That's it, patrons. Every time David says something, it was a factual prediction, and you got to hold him to it. That's it right there. Look, man, I want to respect your time and get you out of here before we hit that 30-minute mark. You tell me, good sir, or tell the listeners where they can find you, how to support you, and if you got anything coming up they can look forward to.
Yeah, man. You guys could definitely support us just by going to lv1gaming.com, checking out some of our content there, some of our reviews, checking out the YouTube, LV1 Gaming. I think you have to type in LV1 Gaming 20 because someone stole our name before we started our YouTube channel, which sucks. But if you see the Phoenix, then that's us. How you can support us just by checking out the content. We don't ask anyone to do anything else. Check out the comment. If you enjoy the content, stick around, hit the like button. You can also follow me on Twitter at Fame2K.
There we go. Listeners, if you're listening to this, you're already a supporter of XEP, and I am grateful for you. You're helping me get to E3. You're helping me get better tech, and I appreciate you guys. Have a fantastic rest of your day. Fame, appreciate you, man.
My guy, no problem.